Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to everyone here on LinkedIn and around the world, wherever you're watching. It's been a while since you've seen me on camera, and so I thought it would be a good time to discuss the impact of AI and specifically on recruitment, since that is the field of work that I operate in. Now, unless you have been living under a rock, then AI is impacting every shape of life, and recruitment is one of those. So I thought it would be a good time to have a discussion on how it impacts recruitment in general, both from an internal and external perspective. So let's delve a bit deeper into the impact of AI. Now, you may hear another voice. That is the voice of my colleague Lamiya, who initiated discussion. She won't be on camera, but she'll definitely have a few comments as we proceed. Would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone.
Excellent. Now, as I said, it's important to look at this from both an internal and external perspective. Now, let's discuss.
Let's start. It's the biggest subject. AI will impact all sectors and all industries. First one, and the biggest one, is this the end of recruitment agencies?
Good question. Is this the end of recruitment agencies? Do I need to find a new career?
Maybe.
Is it time for me to be an Uber driver? Maybe I should become a teacher, who knows? Ultimately, I do not think this is the end of recruitment agencies. However, it is very important to recognize that there's a big technological shift. And with that shift, a role of recruitment agency has to adapt. And I believe that there's many things that we need to do, but which I'm going to discuss a bit further in more detail. But as a overall kind of question, is this the end? No, this is not the end. I'm going to be here for a while, which is unfortunate for some, fortunate for others, but this isn't the end of recruitment agencies, but it's going to be important to know how we adapt and thrive in this industry.
So it's not the end of recruitment agency, as you said, but will AI replace recruitment agencies?
Good question. I don't think AI is going to replace recruitment agencies, but what is going to be important is how we adapt in a fast, ever-changing technological world. What's going to be important is how we use AI tools to make our job more efficient, to streamline activities, and kind of understand how we can adopt AI to make our job more efficient and effective. I don't think AI is going to replace us because there's a huge human impact and human element to what we do, which is probably going to be the theme of topic I'm going to discuss or bring up all the time. So in response to your question, is AI going to replace recruitment agencies? No, but it will cause impact on what we do.
And how about the rise of recruitment platforms? Are agencies at risk?
I'm assuming by recruitment platforms you mean like LinkedIn Recruiter and Smart
Yes.
Recruiter and things like that. That's a topic we have a lot in the office, and I'm sure many other people and other recruitment agencies and internal as well have this discussion of, AI platforms such as LinkedIn Recruiter and others out there. Our jobs are not at risk, but in saying that, our jobs will be at risk if we don't adapt and change how we work, and most importantly, emphasize the parts of our job that AI can't do. So tools such as LinkedIn Recruiter and other AI tools are very good, messaging people, identifying people, etc. But for me, and I'm sure others in the industry speak the same, the role of the recruitment agency is really that middle part of human interaction. And that is what I believe AI can never replace. Well, in my lifetime anyway. I'm sure we'll discuss further later on, of maybe in 50, 60 years, but hopefully I'm not doing recruitment in 50 years. But platforms out there, they're not going to replace what we do, but we must adapt and use them effectively. They do make our job a lot easier. But at the same time, we need to remember, I don't know the stats, but maybe only 30% of people are on LinkedIn around the world. So if a company is thinking maybe I can just use LinkedIn Recruiter and nothing else, then you only have 30% of the talent pool. So there's your question. There's the answer to your question. Is AI tools going to replace recruitment? No, but we must adapt how we work and incorporate them.
So AI is not going to replace us.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
Hopefully not.
But how do you see AI? Do you see AI as a competitor or as a collaborator?
Good question. I'm sure there's many people who argue both. I don't see AI as a competitor, but more of a collaborator. And to emphasize the points I keep echoing, what is important is to explore how recruitment agencies can integrate with AI to improve efficiency rather than see it as a competitor. And I think AI can enhance client and candidate relationship and streamlining what we do. AI can be used as screening CVs as well. But I think on a maybe topic for another day, it's important to see how the impact of AI can affect things such as bias and data protection, because AI is essentially working on the data we provide. So that opens up another can of worms. But I would only see AI as a competitor if we forget the personal touch. So as long as we remain and focus on the personal touch and human factors of what we do as recruiters, both external and internal, because we're all one family, then I do not see AI as a competitor, but more of a collaborator.
Will, for you, recruitment agencies become obsolete in a world of AI?
That is a deep, thought-provoking question. In short, I would say no. I do not see how we can be obsolete in our world, in my lifetime anyway. In 100 years, that may change if we're able to develop AI tools and robots that can speak to candidates and speak to clients and do the human factor. But I think we're a long way away from AI replacing the human factor of having conversation, building rapport, having empathy. So I don't think we're going to be obsolete. Predicting the future is very difficult. However, I think there are going to be certain industries where AI impacts more than others, and certain sectors within recruitment overall. But in answer to a question, we're not going to be obsolete, but that could change in 50, 60 years, and depending how you adapt as a recruitment agency or an internal recruiter.
Perfect. But as we mentioned in the beginning, obviously AI is going to have a big impact in all sectors. But as a recruitment agency and as a business, how could we survive in the age of AI?
Good. Yeah, that's a good question. To elaborate on that point, it's not just surviving. I see it as surviving and thriving in the age of AI. One of the key things is leveraging AI as a tool, and so as a collaborator, not as a competitor. How can we use AI to do some of the stuff we do more effectively? Now, there's already many AI tools out there, such as CV formatting, chatbots, among others, and using these things to make our job more effectively, to do what we do best, which is be on the phone and have rapport and build relationships. It can also help us with better decision making and being able to analyze trends and spot trends more easier. Overall, I believe it can enhance the candidate experience with kind of automation tools as well. Another key aspect, and I think this is important for internal wise, and this actually came up on a documentary I saw on YouTube. I think it was on Financial Times, and looking at the internal kind of hiring, is that AI can promote fairness. Especially in a world where we have bias on simple things such as name. We all have that bias when you see a name which is similar to yours, or etc. That AI can strip all that information away, so people can make judgments on a CV and experience alone, or even AI can make that judgment, because AI doesn't have a bias to say I've seen a name John Smith or I've seen a name Sarah, etc. to have that bias, depending on wherever you are around the world. AI just looks at data. So AI is going to assess, this is the role, this is the CV, does the CV match? I don't care where this candidate is from, I do not care their name, I do not care their sex, whether it's a man or a woman or religion, it's just going to do data-driven decisions. So in promoting fairness and equality, I think the enhancement of AI and integration is very critical in this point. In terms of how we can also thrive is, again, the human factor. The empathy and the human relationship, I think, is very, very key. So as long as we keep that aspect of what we do, then we can use AI to not only survive, but thrive in an ever-changing technological world.
Perfect, very good answer. Let's talk now about about money, and it's more about our clients. I think it's going to be very interesting for our clients. The cost saving myth, is AI recruitment really cheaper? What do you think about it?
I'm sure I'm going to have a bit of bias, and if I say it's not cheap as a recruiter, because I want companies to use recruiters. I think the value that agencies provide is something that can't be accounted for. Now, AI can make things cheaper. If you're able just to use AI tools and not use a recruiter, then it can be cheaper. If you can do all your recruitment on LinkedIn, which many other companies do, then you have no need to use an agency. If you're able to use AI to effectively screen CVs and do the things that recruiters do, then yes, it can be cost saving. However, as the world changes with more technology, I think what you are going to see is more people want the human factor. So interestingly, I think as technology rises, the demand for human factor and human relationships is going to change as well. So actually, the recruiter and that human aspect is going to become more important. You know, people are going to get fed up of the same emails, the emails that they look like they're personalized, but I get many sales emails myself and I can instantly spot that is an AI email. You know, sometimes it's simple stuff like they haven't put my name on there or it seems very generic. Now, this is going to be the same for candidates. When they see emails from a AI tool, you know, that says, "Dear John Smith, we've seen your CV or we've seen your profile, we think you're good for this job." If they think it's just a computer or just an AI tool, then they're likely to not respond. Where we come in as a recruiter is the human factor. And I know I keep talking about the human factor, but I think that's our real key element, is being able to build rapport. I've been lucky enough to be doing recruitment to close to 20 years. I know I'm a bit of a granddad in this game now, but the relationships I've been able to build over the last 10, 20 years, AI can't replicate. Many candidates I speak to or have relationships with are not on LinkedIn. There's history and rapport that has been built up again, which AI can't replace. So yes, there is a cost saving that can be had, and it's important how recruitment agencies adapt. But I think for certain positions and certain roles in certain sectors, the role of a recruiter, headhunter is still very important. And what is going to be more important is how you as a headhunter or recruiter adapt to those changes and embrace AI as a tool. So back to your question about, is it a cost saving myth? For some elements of the sector, yes, it is going to provide cost saving. There's no doubt about that. But I think for certain sectors and the sectors that we do, AI can't replace what we do. So is it going to be a cost saving? No, because you're still going to rely on a recruiter. And as I said, as the involvement of AI and technology increases, then that human factor is going to become very, very more important. So actually, you may kind of see a swing where actually the recruiter becomes more important now, because you need that human relationship, being able to measure soft skills of a candidate, etc. There's a lot of communication which is said that is not communicated. So unless AI is going to be able to have conversations and have memories, which may be in the future, who knows? But for now, I think we're quite safe.
So you were just talking about the role of the headhunter. So do you think AI can find candidates? I think so. AI can find candidates, but do you think AI can build a real career?
That's a good point. So AI, it can do that kind of CV matching, you know, at the end of the day, keywords, looking at keywords, etc. Do they match? Perfect. But then there's the element of interviewing a candidate, because everyone is right on paper, but sometimes when you speak to people, gather their motivations, gather, what they're looking for. And especially from a candidate point of view, when you're dealing with passive candidates, a lot of the time you're almost like a career advisor. That you're speaking to candidates every week, every month, what you're looking for in your career, what challenges are you having, etc. This is where I believe that AI can probably do the task of matching on keywords. But actually, if you're a recruiter and your job is just matching keywords, then I don't think you're a good recruiter. The good recruiter is someone who can build rapport, build relationships over a long term and help somebody on their career. I know, speaking personally, there's some candidates who I've worked with for the last 10 years and kind of helping them elevate and progress their careers. And likewise, from an internal perspective as well, it's not just the external recruitment agency. The importance of using our personal skills and the human factor to help build careers and long-term relationships, that is the part I don't think AI can replicate again, unless in the future we have iRobots and robots that can speak to people. But even if that does happen, I would imagine that if you go to meet somebody in person, then you probably want to meet somebody real and not a robot.
Thank you, Deji, for this discussion.
Excellent. So again, I think that summarizes what we've been talking about, the impact of AI on the recruitment industry from both an internal and external aspect. Is it hype? Is it reality? I think there's a bit of hype there. AI is new, there's a buzzword for everything with AI and how you can implement this. We're not going to be replaced. I'm sure you've seen many AI tools that say replace the recruiter, etc. But in a technological, ever-changing world, the importance of human factor is becoming very, very important. Now, of course, I'm going to be biased because I'm a recruiter, but I think that is the core strength of an external recruitment agency, not just like myself in EWI, but in general of the industry. That's where we actually provide our value. And as the world shifts to more AI, more technology, the value in human factor, I think, is going to become ever so important. Excellent. So again, I want to thank everyone for watching. That was a quick discussion, 20 minutes or so on the impact of AI. If there's anything you want to see me talk about, I'm making a promise now for 2025. More videos, more podcasts. I know I've been a bit quiet this year, but I'm going to be doing more and more. Anything you want to see me discuss or my colleagues discuss, then let us know. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. And as always, keep it green, keep it clean. Thank you very much. Take care.